I mean, Hamlet is a dark character, and Jamil is a slightly dark character as well. Um, so many pictures of yours come out, and at occasions you also seem like a very, not I wouldn't say dark, but very intense, brooding, very serious. Is that the real Ahad Raza Mir?
I mean,
Would you
I
call
wouldn't say yes, but I think you have to at a certain level relate to your character. I mean, there's some actors who I think do a very good job in completely transforming, which is, you know, you look at actors like in Hollywood, take Daniel Day-Lewis. He's not the same at all. His voice is
Never.
different, his
Yeah,
look is
yeah.
different. But there's some actors who know that I'm going to bring myself in this case. It's going to be me at a different address. That's how I've always treated things. And I think I bring a bit of myself. It's not it won't be real unless part of Ahad is there. So I think when people say that, you know, is there a darker side to you? Well, I mean, everybody has a darker side.
Absolutely.
So I think mine might be just a little bit more vulnerable.
Okay, that's interesting. Also, you're not very active on social media, and it seems also like with the dark side, there's also a very old school romantic under that surface. I mean, you're quiet about your relationships, you don't like to talk about them, and you're not very active on social media, you're not putting yourself out there, and yet people are like, the fans are running after you. You put up a picture and you put one word and there's like this outpour of love, and
Yeah.
you take time out to actually respond and talk to them. So there is old school romantic down there, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'll admit it, yes. But, you know, along with that, I think, and I've said this on numerous occasions, that I think as an actor, I don't want social media to confuse me. I think my role in the industry, my role in the work I do, is limited on the set. You know, is limited to me reading the script, is limited to people seeing that end result. I think maybe that old school thing you talk about is that you know, I appreciate my fans, I love my fans, and I want them to know as much about me as I think is appropriate. But I want them to relate to that character. You know, I don't want people to see Jamil 1 second and then me posting about the coffee that I'm drinking. You know, that kind of, it breaks that
Tempo.
and that, again, I bring up this thing called the suspension of disbelief. You
Yeah.
know, when one moment you're in 1940s, you know, India, Pakistan, you know, you're in that world, and all of a sudden you're seeing the same guy, you know, posting about whatever it might be. I don't want
Yeah.
to take my audience out of that.
Yeah.
I think that's unfair to them.
Yeah.
Along with that, I think, and I might be wrong, you know, a lot of people like social media, and I think
Yeah.
it's great. It's a great way for people to connect to their fans, which, you know, maybe didn't exist before. So I try as much as I can to respond, talk to them, post a picture when I can. It's just that I'm not
Once a month,
you know, once
maybe
a month.
twice.
It's just that I'm not, you know, sitting there going, you know, somebody take a picture of me, I have to post, just because I feel that this is my time right now.
And you also believe in retaining that mystique, right? That little element of, you know, there's also distance between your viewers and your fans and yourself.
I don't think in that sense, yes. If it's pictures and posting and tweeting, things like that, yeah, there is a bit of distance I keep. But when I interact with my fans, I'm not. This is who I am. I'm
Absolutely.
not trying to do anything else.
Absolutely.
I think I'm not.
And we saw a really dark side of social media when Coke Studio happened.
Yeah.
Right? And so tell me about that. I mean, did it affect you in any way, or were you like, no, let's just not read all the critique and just let's put it past us?
No, I think I couldn't ignore it. That was the thing,
Yeah.
you know, because it was kind of all over the place. So I couldn't ignore the fact that that people liked or didn't like the song.
They were very vocal about it.
Very vocal about it, which I was kind of happy about. Like, look, I felt that, hey, people came together to, whether it was to bash something or whatever it was. I just felt that, personally, I felt that at the end of the day, it was just a song. That was my kind of opinion
Yeah.
on it. And whether people liked it, didn't like it, that's fair. Everybody.
And you've
in
done
every race
musicals
like
on
it.
stage,
Yeah, on stage.
so
yeah.
you do sing.
Well, sure.
But I always get this thought that would people have reacted the same way if you had done Coco Karina with Sajal?
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know what would have happened.
What would have happened? So we were talking about your different personas and who you really are, and are you the dark brooding hero or are you the romantic hero, or who really are you, but one thing is for certain, you really are Mama's boy, right?
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think there's nothing wrong with that.
No, absolutely not.
I think, I'm very close with my mother, and no matter what anybody says, she is my #1 fan, and she's been my #1 fan since day one. The same way that she, you know, spreads the message of me doing this serial or doing this film or winning this award or whatever it is, she does exactly when I was in high school and doing small little theater productions. She is exact the same. Nothing's changed. Just as much effort. Just as proud as me winning Hum or Lux to me being 15 years old and just doing a small production on stage. Nothing has changed.
Yeah.
So I'm very close with my mother, and I think everyone should be. They should appreciate their mothers. I think
Absolutely.
sometimes what happens is as we grow up, we want to be more mature, we want to be cool, we want to whatever it might be. But at the end of the day, you are nothing without the people who have been there since the beginning.
Absolutely.
My father included. These guys have always supported me in everything I've ever done. Even making the shift to Pakistan.
Yeah.
And even before, when I was in Canada, my mom lived quite a bit of time without me. And that's a very difficult thing for a mother.
It is.
So I think, she, regardless, supported me. I said, I'm going to Pakistan. She said, go. Go. Just do what you have to do.
Yeah. And your dad, I mean, those were big shoes to fill in, right?
I'm still trying to fill them.
What was that one moment when you felt that, okay, you had achieved his respect as an actor and he was happy with your decision to get into acting professionally? And, was there like a turning point where it was like, okay, now I've made my dad proud?
I think my dad's always been proud. I think
That's super.
He's always been happy with the decisions I've made professionally. I wouldn't, maybe not personally, I've been a little stupid sometimes.
We'd like to talk about that as well, but...
Oh, we'll get there eventually. But no, he's always supported me, and he's the one, when I was in school and I told him, I just gave him a call and I said, Baba, I'm switching to drama. I'm business nahi karna. All he said was, okay, great. It was almost like he was waiting for me to say that. It wasn't even like, kya matlab, tumne ek saal to laga diya. It was like, his okay was like, finally. Because that's all I knew how to do. It's all that kind of made sense to me. It's the only thing that woke me up in the morning, कि rehearsal pe jana hai, ye shoot karna hai, ye karna hai. I obsess over it. And that's one of the reasons I can't do more than one drama. I don't understand how some people do it. Hats off to them. That's excellent.
And that one time when you were doing Parwaaz-e-Junoon and Yaqeen Ka Safar
and
Sammi together.
Yeah, which was, it was very brief. It was like a week of that. But I just don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to myself. I don't think it's fair to my viewer. And it's not fair to the team at every respective set. Because I'm coming from one mindset and trying to enter something else. I just think that when I'm trying to be somebody else, that's a hard job altogether.